This is lesson 28, where we'll learn how to write words ending in ing. But let's start with exercise 1 for the warm-up and review. It is in 2 groups. I'll read them both, but I'll let you know when the second group starts. And you should write a comma between each stroke. Here we go. Ready? Initial SW. Initial SP. Initial DR. Initial BR. Initial TW, initial SH, long O, initial B, final CH, final B, E, long E, final L, final V, I, long I, initial F, final F, U, long U, initial N, final N, initial M, final M, aw diphthong, initial G, final G, initial Z, initial H, final inch, initial W, initial Y, ow diphthong, initial J, final J, oi diphthong, initial V, final V, initial Z, final Z, initial Q, double O diphthong, initial WH, final NT, initial BL, initial SK, initial PR, final KT. And now for the second group, initial TH, final ND, initial FL, initial WR, initial SL, final LT, final FN, initial KR, final BL, final LD, initial PR, initial STR, initial GL, initial SM, initial GR, initial ST, initial SKR, initial KL, final RD, initial SN, initial SPR, initial FR, initial PL, final RT, initial WR, initial CH, initial SK, initial SF, initial TW, initial SH, initial SM, initial SL, initial SN, initial SP, initial ST, initial SW, final RS, final RT, final RK, final RJ, final IRCH, final RD, final RNT, final RNL, final FN, final FT, final NL, final BL. All right, so a couple things I want to point out with this. You should check your steno and make sure that it's clean and that you're not shadowing things, but also make note if you hesitated, especially with some of those consonant blends, like when you had the initial SKR, make sure you're hitting the SK and R all in just one clean stroke. When you have the final RNT, final RNL, you should just be hitting those in one stroke and not kind of doing them not exactly at the same time, all right? This really helps strengthen your finger placement so that when you have words with these consonant blends, they're clean and you don't hesitate, all right? So check your notes, check on the things that might be messy, and make note of the things that maybe caused a little hesitation, and do them again if you need to. And then when you feel comfortable that you were able to write them from top to bottom cleanly and without hesitation. Then move on to a new rule where we'll learn how to write words ending in ing.